This is the 40U Tech Startups podcast. The podcast in which you hear all about the startups and spin-offs from the 4 technical universities in the Netherlands. From the challenges they face to the ecosystems they accelerate in, here we talk about what it takes to flourish and make impact on an international playing field. Brought to you by the 40U. Welcome to another episode of the Dutch 40U Tech Startups podcast. My name is Vera Boertien and I'm your host of today. And today we are in Paris because today Hello Tomorrow is happening. And well, I wanted to talk about why you should join Hello Tomorrow as a deep tech startup. So I invited a deep tech startup. And it's someone that you already know if you've listened to all the episodes, because it's Cees Links from Superlight Photonics. Welcome, Cees.
Hi, Vera. Great to be here.
Thank you for joining me. Can you introduce yourself and share a little more about Superlight Photonics?
Yeah, I'm an alumni of the Twente University. Some time ago, have done a few things in between, but now I'm the CEO of Superlight Photonics. We are a spin-out of the Twente University, located in downtown Enschede. And we do wideband lasers. Now, maybe you wonder, what are wideband lasers? Now, everybody knows lasers from red or green or blue, maybe even. Mm-hmm. Lasers have one color. Now, we have invented how to make colorful lasers that combine all colors, and therefore we call it a wideband laser. Sometimes we also call it a white laser because, white is a combination of all the colors. And indeed, our laser combines all the colors of a very wide spectrum.
Yeah, so it's the full spectrum of colors.
Full spectrum. And so, as you know, in color you see way more than in black and white.
Yes.
And that's the whole thing about colors. You get really a lot of insight, and that's our slogan. With better light, you get more insight.
Yeah. And what are some of the applications that you could use it for?
Well, our first generation of applications is in the so-called imaging market, and in particular in quality control. Did you know every year there are 1 trillion chips being visually inspected? That's
a lot.
1 trillion chips. So fortunately, there are machines for doing that. But, if you have machines, if you have better light, then you can run the machines faster. And then you can more efficiently find errors in chips more quickly. So that's just one example. So in general, quality inspection in the industrial area, but also in the medical field. If doctors want to see the difference between tissue that has cancer or has no cancer, they need special light, and that's the light that we provide.
Yeah, so today we're in Paris at Hello Tomorrow. This is the global summit for deep tech startups. And, you also joined the podcast on why you should join CES. And you mentioned that you have been there many, many times before. But this is your first time at Hello Tomorrow, right?
Yeah, this is a first. Yeah, never too old for first. So this is a first. And Hello Tomorrow is I've been here now for 1 day, and it is a great show for meeting investors, mm-hmm. and for meeting colleague startups. So it's nice to share stories and experiences. It's very stimulating, very energizing, and it is a very typical chaos as you usually see in these trade shows where you're supposed to mix and match, and that's the typical thing that you see here as well.
Yeah, so it started this morning, and currently it's 4:45 in the afternoon. So what was your first experience of this global summit?
A long line. A long line to get in. But the good news was I just happened to arrive with one of our investors at the same time, mm-hmm. at the long line. So we could spend half an hour in kind of updating each other. So it was highly efficient.
So you had a one-on-one with an investor.
I had a one-on-one with one of the investors, exactly. And that is a little also the theme of these type of conferences. Mm-hmm. You need to fly around, meet people, greet people, catch up with people, and this is just a great opportunity to do so. It was, I mean, very valuable. The things that I learned already today. So I don't even have to go tomorrow.
Yeah. So you're saying goodbye tomorrow.
I'll say goodbye tomorrow, but I go first.
Yeah. But did you have many meetings? Like, what did your day look like?
They look like as a mixture of, starting in the morning with startups. I'm also consulting for startups. So I discussed with a few startups their business plans and my experience with how to do things or how not to do things.
Right.
One of the things I learned, for instance, is don't say to an investor, I don't do it for the money. Right. Because the investor gets scared because he is in there for the money. Yeah. So he wants the CEO to say, oh, I'm in here for the money. Yeah, I also like it, but I want to make money too. Yeah. Yeah. So never say I'm not here for the money, because actually you have to be honest. And that's probably the theme. Just be honest, Yeah. You try to raise money for your company to build a great company. So that's how the morning started. I had several meetings with investors. The other thing is, as a startup, you're also game. And with game, I mean, there are advisors who advise startups how to get investors. Yeah. So they want to meet with startups. So you're chasing the investors, but the advisors are chasing you. So I had a few meetings with advisors, and always learn something. So I learned something from an advisor as well. So and then I walked back and meet you for the podcast.
Yes, also very valuable, of course.
Very valuable. Hopefully inspiring other people to do a startup and to get the sense of what it takes to raise money.
Yeah, that's the goal. The delegation that we're joining this year, like last year, I remember from the 4TU there were about 10 startups joining. Now it's 21, and we're also joining together with TechLeap and RVO, TNO, InvestNL. So this delegation has grown to over 200 people.
Yeah, we are a little overpowering the conference.
Yeah.
A little bit.
But how was that for you? Did you get did you meet new people within the delegation?
Absolutely. I know a lot of people in the ecosystem. So, I mean, in a way, it's already good to catch up with everybody in the ecosystem and, stay current with, what are the challenges. And as you know, at this moment, there are a lot of geopolitical challenges,
yes.
And they have impact very directly on what decisions you make. I mean, for instance, one of the decisions we have to make is, do we want to sign up a distributor in China? Right. I mean, a few weeks ago, we were very apprehensive, but now all the panels are shifting. It's a little bit the question, probably we should also, make sure that we kind of keep good connection with China. As an example of how things can change in relatively short time. So, and it is also interesting to hear others' opinions of other people, what they think about it. So, it's kind of good to be here.
Yeah. And when you mention China, keeping good relations with it, that's then as opposed to the United States.
Well, I mean, you also want to keep good connections with the United States. You never know what happens in 4 years from now. Right? I mean, it's like the whole thing is upside down, tipsy-turvy again. So I don't know. Yeah. We'll have to see. But it's definitely dynamic. Let me put it that way.
Yeah. And that's all coming together at Hello Tomorrow?
Well, it plays, and I've noticed, it is in the minds of many people. Yeah. So, and if you meet with like-minded people here in Europe, then you can use each other as a sounding board, and get a good feeling for what other people think, and are you missing something, that type of thing.
Yeah, and then when we talk about the European ecosystem, when it comes to deep tech, what steps need to be taken there?
Ooh, how long do you have?
How long do you have?
Yeah, no. What really kind of in light of this conference, what I think it plays is deep tech investment in Europe is still quite shy.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Very
we're shy
timid.
and very timid. It's all a matter of scale. Yeah. But if you want to do deep tech investments, yeah, you need to really invest a lot of money for a longer period.
Yeah.
And the risk is higher, but the rewards are higher. So in general, the stakes are higher. Yeah. So you need to just scale up in your thinking, in your mindset. And in the United States, they are there. Yeah. I mean, what is 1 million in Europe is 10 million in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you just do a statistical calculation, it's just a higher scale. Okay, the risks are higher, the investments are higher, the return is higher. And if you have enough investments of 10 million or 100 million, some will fail, some will be a success, but it's all about scale.
Yeah.
But in Europe, we are very timid. There are some real deep tech investors who understand this picture, but they are more exception than the rule. So there's definitely a need for the deep tech community to strengthen, to understand what it takes to invest in deep tech. And the risks are higher, but the rewards are higher. You just need to put in more money and get the scale to justify it. But do one deep tech investment, that's not going to cut it, right?
No.
The whole idea is to spread your portfolio over a whole bunch of. But then quickly you need a fund of 500 million instead of 50 million, right?
Yeah.
And then we are too timid.
Yeah.
And there is enough money in Europe.
So the money is there.
The money is there, but we are a little bit shy.
Yeah.
A little bit kind of overcautious.
And that is something that needs to happen from the investor side then.
From the investors, from the LPs, so the investors in the investors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, deep tech is like sending a VOC ship to Indonesia, right? And only a limited number of ships are coming back, but when they come back, they bring a lot of wealth. So what you do is you spread the risk.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the risk of deep tech are just sending big ships instead of small ships. And if you want to do a real deep tech, then we need to have the guts to send big ships. And of course, there's big risk. But if you send one ship, it probably will not come back. But if you spread the risk, then that's the whole mechanism. And we're getting a little bit apprehensive, cold feet, nervous. When it is about big numbers.
Yeah. So investors and LPs kind of need to take more risks. How's that for startups?
Well, the fun part is for startup, I must say, so I've done another technology startup and I've worked on other new technologies and I work a lot with startups.
Mm-hmm.
Deep tech is quite different because usually it's platform technology that it is difficult to recognize when and how much return it is going to give.
Yes.
You need vision. Yeah, you need in our case with Superlight Photonics, we have a vision for superior imaging, for very high speed datacom, for parallel computing in photonics, for holographic displays. So we have very big vision. And that is the strengths of deep tech. But, at the same time, you need a lot of money. But your question was about how is it different for the entrepreneur? For the entrepreneur, it's not so different.
So they also need to take risks.
The entrepreneur takes risks. But, but what is the risk of the entrepreneur? The entrepreneur has 1 or 2 or 5 years that he works on a challenging startup.
Mm-hmm.
And if he makes it, it's great. And if he doesn't make it, he has still a great experience and learns a lot. That's very useful for the rest of his career.
Yeah,
I think the risk taking is more at the side of the investors, so to say, because they need to scale up and spread the risk.
Yeah. And now today at Hello Tomorrow, well, it's not very a risk-taking situation. It's, meeting familiar people, sometimes new people, but they're not that scary.
No, that's true.
So what are you hoping to take home from Hello Tomorrow?
Well, in the first place, energy.
Right.
I mean, these type of conferences give you a lot of energy, but very practical. I know I met some investors and I met some new people. I have some follow-up actions in terms of making a business plan available, sending that out, and so forth. So, I mean, from that perspective, it's just mundane work. It's just kind of making contacts, send your business plan, make follow-up calls, and just execute. That's just straightforward. That's part of every business.
And what's the next step? The next big step, maybe for Superlight Photonics?
For Superlight Photonics, we want to close a funding round before the summer. So that's a big step for us. Because that really brings us from seed to Series A. Yeah. And that would be quite exciting. So, the other thing commercially, being able to really sell products is very exciting too. Really seeing customers using your product and be able to see better and get more insight. Yeah, with better light, more insight.
Yeah. Well, that's a perfect note to end this episode with, I think. Thank you very much for your insights, Cees. We'll do another episode with another startup on how, what Hello Tomorrow brought them after Hello Tomorrow. So that episode still needs to be recorded. But just to give you that insight as well. But for now, Cees, thank you very much and enjoy the rest of this mission.
You're very welcome. Thanks.